어떻게 말이에요? Good morning, students. Am I audible? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you, students. Let's proceed with the session today. Today is the second day of our batch, second demo session. And whosoever has not enrolled yet, I request you all to enroll as early as possible because we have 3 demo sessions and today is the second session. So let's proceed with the session today. Before that, let's take a quick recap of what we have discussed yesterday. Yesterday, we have discussed about what is Python. First, we discussed about the introduction to Python, in which we have discussed that it is a general purpose, platform independent, simple, highly interpreted, and high-level programming language. After that, we have discussed about the kinds of applications we can develop with the help of Python, in which we understand that it is helpful in development of websites. Artificial intelligence applications cannot be run without Python. Even if we want to proceed with the gaming applications, we want to develop the gaming applications, we need to have the knowledge of Python. As we have discussed many things that we can develop the audio and video based applications, data visualization, data abstraction, data analysis and analytics, education programs, automation for testing. If you want to proceed any of the careers, you need to go ahead with the Python only. Even we can solve numerical and complex mathematical operations with the Python. Now, after that, we discussed about the history of Python. So let's understand the history of Python, students. Hello, madam. Day 1 PDF is not added on the Logic Labs portal. Shekhar, it will be shared with the paid candidates only. And if you have already paid, then you will get the PDF today. Okay, let's proceed now. So we were discussing about the history of Python, in which we have discussed about that Python is a language which was conceived in the year 1980 and it was implemented in year 1989. If we talk about programmatically, it was released in the year 1991, February 20, and it was developed by Guido van Rossum, who was the father of Python. And it was developed at CWI, that is Centrum Wiskunde Informatica in Netherlands. ABC programming language is the predecessor of the Python programming language. And it is managed and maintained by a non-commercial organization, that is PSF, Python Software Foundation. Official website of Python software is www.python.org. I have shown you how the downloading process of Python also. Now, after that, we have discussed about the versions of Python. Now, versions is a numerical identification. Now, when we talk about the Python programming, it contains the 3 major versions. And in 3 major versions, we have 1.x, 2.x, and 3.x. After that, if we have 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, that these are the whatever comes after point, that is a minor version. Now 1.x and the 1.7 were the minor versions which were outdated. And Python program does not supports backward compatibility. Some of the MNCs are still using Python 2.x till 2.7. And nowadays, the latest version is Python 3.12. It is the major version. And in October, it is going to release 3.13. After that, we have discussed about features of Python programming. We started discussing about the features of Python. Now, what are the features? Features are the facilities provided by the language developers in the language and are used by the language programmers for developing the real-time applications. If we talk about Python, it has 11 features, which are simple, freeware and open source, platform independent language, dynamically typed programming language, interpreted programming language, then high-level programming language, robust, extensible, embedded, both functional and object-oriented programming language. It also supports the third-party APIs such as NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, SkyPy, Scikit, Keras, etc. Now, I've told you that Python is inspired from the 4 different programming languages. It has learned functional programming from C, object-oriented programming from C++, modular programming language from Modulo 3, and scripting programming language from Perl. Now, after this, we will starting discussing about the features of Python. Now, when we are discussing about the features of Python, let's start with the first feature. So students, whatever we have discussed till now, is that clear to you? Any question you have, you can raise your hand. Do we have any questions? No questions. Very good. Let's proceed further now. Now, as I've told you that it is a simple programming language. Because of its, I've already paid the fee, and please update the material regularly on the portal. Okay, fine. You will get the PDF today. Now let's proceed with the simple. Python is the simple programming language because of its 3 technical factors. Now, what are those 3 technical factors, from which the first factor is it provides the rich set of APIs. APIs are the libraries, means application programming interface, so that the Python programmer can reuse the predefined code without writing our own code, and hence they are easy to develop. Now, as I've told you, API means libraries, and API is always a collection of module, and module is a collection of functions, variables, and class names like calendar, math, CMS, OS, array, and render module. So these are the predefined modules in the Python programming. Second factors are Python program provides the garbage collector facility. Now, what do we understand by garbage collector? Garbage collector is helpful in removing the unused memory space, right? Which helps in the performance of Python-based applications. So garbage collector takes care of the automatic memory management, and we can store unlimited amount of data in Python programming. Now, factor 3, Python programming provides the user-friendly syntaxes, so that the Python programmer can develop the error-free programs in limited span of time. These are the 3 factors for the simple. Now, second we have is platform independent language. Now, platform independent language, it is known to be a platform independent language because it OS remains same. A platform is nothing but type of OS being used to run the applications, right? And in platform independent language, data types remain same on all the OSs. Right? As I've told you, we have 2 types of languages, platform independent and platform dependent. Now, if we talk about the platform dependent language, we have C and C++, whose data type differs from one OS to another OS. Whereas if we talk about the platform independent language, it means their data types memory remains same on all types of OSs, right? And everything, whatever we'll store, will be stored in the form of objects, and we can store the unlimited amount of data. If we talk about the Java, although they are size restricted, but still everything is stored in the form of objects only, even in Java. In Python, as I've written, note all the values are stored in the form of objects. Examples, Java and Python. Third feature, it's freeware and open source. Now, freeware If any software is said to be freeware, means it can be easily downloaded freely from its official website, that is Python software. Right? Open source. The standard name of Python is CPython. And some of the company vendors came forward and customized the CPython and used the customized versions as their in-house tools in their company. So such types of customized versions of Python are known as the distributions of Python. Now, some of the distributions of Python are JPython, which is helpful in running the Java-based applications. IronPython or IPython, I've told you that we can run C#.NET applications with that. MicroPython used to develop the microcontrollers. RubyPython used to run Ruby-based applications, and Anaconda Python used to run the Hadoop applications, means big data applications. Now, next, if we talk about is dynamically typed programming language. I have told you about the two types of programming languages. One is dynamically typed programming language, and second is static type programming language. Now, what do we understand by that? I have given you the examples. If you remember, in the static type programming language, if we talk about the static type, it means that if I'm storing something, we need not to define the variable. Like if I'm writing A is equal to 10, B is equal to 12.2, C is equal to A plus B. I have given you the same example, A plus B, right? Now, if I write print A, type of A, we will get the output. That what type of data type it is, right? This is a int data type. Now, if I write print B, type of B, this is a float data type. Now, print C, type of C. Again, this is a float data type. Now, when we talk about the dynamically typed programming language, we need not to specify the data of the variable so that the data type of the variable decided by the Python execution environment based on the value assigned by the program. In spite of this, if we talk about the static type programming language, in that defining a variable is mandatory. Like if we talk about Java, if we talk about C, C++, defining a variable, we need to write integer A, B, C. Variable declaration is mandatory. Like we need to write integer A, B, and C. Declaration is mandatory in that, right? So all types of Python programming are stored in the form of objects. So it is a dynamically typed programming language. Next feature, we discussed about the interpreted programming language. What do we understand by interpreted programming language, students? Whenever we save any program, we need to save that file with extension .py. Right? I've told you that we need to save it with an extension .py. So, compilation process, two processes, interpreted programming means two processes takes place internally. Now, what are those two processes? Two processes are the compilation process and the execution process. Now, compilation process and execution. Now, what is compilation process? I have shown you in the diagram also. Just a second, let me show you. Okay. Now, in the compilation process, the Python source code submitted to the Python compiler, it is read by the source code, check for the errors, and if no error found, then the Python compiler converts it into the intermediate code, that is a bytecode, with an extension .pyc. And if the error found, then it will be displayed on the console. Let me show you with the help of flowchart. See, I have saved one program with the name sum.py, which is a source code of this. Now, the Python compiler, what does it do? It will go ahead and look for the source code line by line. Check for the source code line by line. If no error found, if the error found, then we'll get the syntax error there and then only. And then in case, if no error found, then it will be converted to the intermediate code, that is sum.pyc, which is a bytecode. right? After that, PVM go ahead and the execution process takes place. What does the PVM do? It will read the source code, it will read the bytecode line by line and convert it into the machine understandable format, that is a binary code, which is read by the OS and gives the result. Now, what is PVM? PVM is one of the program in Python software whose role is to read it line by line of bytecode and convert it into the machine understandable language. Right? See, we can see it here also. The PVM reads the Python intermediate code line by line and converts it into the machine understandable code, that is executable or binary code, read by the OS and processor, and finally gives results. So that is why it is one of the interpretation-based programming language. I've shown you the example also yesterday. Now let's proceed with the sixth feature, that is high-level programming language. In general, we have two types of programming languages. One is low-level programming language, and second is the high-level programming language. In the low-level programming language, what happens is, if I save something, like I am saving something with A is equal to, I'm saving something with 0B101010. Now, what is this? Which format is this? This is a binary format. This binary format, right? And if I'm saving, just a second. In the low-level programming language, if we'll save something in the binary format, we won't be able to convert it into the decimal format, right? If we talk about the high-level programming language, it will automatically convert it into the decimal format, which is understandable by the end user. Like if I write print A, type of A, this is 42, integer, this is class int. Means the binary format is converted to the decimal format. Now, if I write B is equal to, let me write 0O, which is the octal number 124, right? Now, this is a octal number. Now, if we talk about this, in the low-level programming language, we cannot convert it into the decimal format. Now, if we want to convert it here in the high-level programming language, if we'll save it, we'll get the output in the decimal format, right? Now, if I write C is equal to 0x, means hexadecimal format. Let me write B. Now, what format is this? This is a hexadecimal format. Let me write B12. Now, I don't know what actually the value is, so we need to convert it all the time. But here, it will, in the high-level programming language, it will be converted on its own. Type of C. Right? Even if I write simply, like if I write 0B111, 010101110. Now see, I've got the output. It is automatically converted into the decimal format. Same 0O, let me write 125435475, which is a decimal number system understandable by everyone. Let's go ahead with the next format, that is hexadecimal. Just a second, hexadecimal. Let me write 0x12BFA3. It is converted. Understood the difference between both? Low-level programming language represent the data in the lower level like binary, octal, and hexadecimal. And this type data is not understandable by the programmer or the end user. Whereas if we talk about the high-level programming language, even if we represent the lower level data like binary, octal, hexadecimal, High-level programming language automatically converts it into the decimal number system data. Example, we have Python. Clear to you guys? Understood the difference between the low-level programming language and the high-level programming language? Good. Rest of the students are not responding today. Let's proceed further. Now we'll talk about the next feature, which means it is a robust programming language. Now, what do we understand by robust programming language? Robust. Python is one of the robust because of its exception handling. Now, what is exception? Exception is nothing but whenever we run the program and we'll get the error. Runtime errors of the program are called the exceptions. And exceptions by default generates the technical error messages. And if we talk about exception handling, process of converting, I'm sorry, student. Process of converting those technical error messages into user-friendly error messages is known as exception handling. If the Python program uses the exception handling, then the Python program is robust. Second, extensible. What do we understand by extensible? Python programming, giving its programming facilities to the other languages also. Like Python code can also be written in the other languages also. Like in C++, if we want to go ahead with, we can write that. So Python is one of the extensible programming language. Next, embedded. Embedded means it can call the other languages coding segment for the fastest execution. Like it can also call the C programming code for the fastest execution. Next is it supports the third-party APIs. Means we can do many tasks and operations which are unable to perform in normal programming language. Like if we are proceeding with the Python programming language, we can also solve the complex mathematical operations also, right? And for that, it also called the third-party APIs such as NumPy, Pandas. NumPy is a numerical calculation. We are going to discuss about it in the class, in this session. Pandas, it works as an analysis tool. Matplotlib, which is used for data visualization. SciPy and Scikit also. Right? Are we clear with the features? Syntax error means whenever we write any program, if there are any error found in the syntax, then we'll get this syntax. And runtime error can be any error. It can be the value error, it can be the index error, any error. Whenever we run the program, whatever error we'll get, that is known as a runtime error. Clear? Let's proceed now. Now let's understand the literals and identifiers in Python. Shall we proceed? Any questions, students? Any one of you? Okay, what about the rest of the students? Only one good student is responding. Are you there in the session? No problems. Let's proceed further. Now let's proceed with the identifiers and literals. Literals in Python. If we talk about the literals in the Python are nothing but values passing to the Python program. So whenever we write any Python program, we need to make some inputs, which are called the literals or values, right? So all types of values which we enter are known as literals. In Python program, we have 5 types of literals. One is integer literal, floating point literal, str literal, Boolean literals, and collection literals. Second, we have identifiers. Now, what do we understand by identifiers? Whenever we make any input or literal, they are stored in the main memory by allocating the sufficient amount memory space with the help of data type. Now, the process where the data which was stored in the main memory as a programmer, we must use some distinct name for that, which will help us to identify the values stored in the memory. So those are known as the identifiers, which are also known as the variables. Getting me? So identifier are also called variables. So all types of input or literals must be stored in the form of variables. So all type of variables are called objects. Let me show you with the example. So I have shown you that I am, whatever I'm saying, like A is equal to, I'm writing 1, 2, 3. Now, print A, type of A. Now, what does that mean? Like if I'm writing A is what? It is an identifier, or that is also known as a variable, which is helping us to identify the value. Now, if I'm writing A is equal to 123, it is stored in the main memory. So whenever I'm entering print A, type of A, so what type of output I'm getting is 123, which is a class. It is saved in the main memory, right? In spite of this, if I write print B, let me show you. If I write print B, type of B, it will calculate, it will give us the value 84. See, why? Because it was saved in the memory. Getting me? Now, till the time, I'll not change the value. Now, what will happen? Garbage collector will come and remove this from its memory, right? Now I'm writing B is equal to 254. Now, if I have written B is equal to 254, it will be considered as the new value. The old value will be automatically deleted. Garbage collector will remove that. Getting me? Getting me, students? Yes, very good. Now, there are some rules which we need to use while going ahead with the identifiers or variables in Python program. The variable is a combination. It can be a combination of alphabets, digits, and a special symbol, but the special symbol will be underscore only. The special symbol, if we talk about, it will be underscore only. It can be a combination of alphabets, digits, and special symbols underscore only. No other special symbol is allowed. And the first letter of variable must start either with an alphabet or underscore. If in spite of this, if I'll write with the 1 A B C, means I'm starting with the digit is equal to 45. Invalid decimal literally. So it should not start with the digit. Now, in spite of this, if I'll write ABC1 is equal to 23. Now it is acceptable, right? Now let me write salary of 123 is equal to 45.5. It is acceptable. It is acceptable. Now, in spite of this, if I write underscore sal is equal to 45.5, it is acceptable. Means it should start either with the alphabet or with the special symbol underscore only. In spite of this, if I use the dollar symbol or any other symbol, I'm writing salary is equal to 45.5. Syntax error, invalid syntax, right? Even if we'll write underscore 123 is equal to 5.6, it is acceptable. Because as I've told you that it can be the combination of alphabets, digits, and a special symbol that is underscore only, but it should start with the alphabet or underscore, right? If I write underscore 123 again underscore is equal to 45, that is acceptable. Now, if I write underscore salary underscore is equal to 45. That is also acceptable. Getting me? Now, no special symbol is allowed within the variable except underscore. If we'll use hash, hash is used for commenting purpose. Like I'm writing, just a second, salary is equal to 45. Now, I'm using employee space. Sal is equal to 45. Syntax error. Right? Invalid. Now, in spite of this, if I write salary hash employee is equal to, let me write 45 or 56. Let me write 56. It will give 45 only. It will accept 45 only because we have already mentioned salary is equal to 45. Hash employee will not be considered. Right? Sal is 45. It is printed. Now, if I write employee is equal to 56, it is also not acceptable. So no other special symbol is allowed. Now, if I write A hash sal is equal to 45. 1, 2, 3. Why? Why? Because A is already defined as, if we'll know, it's 123. Clear to everyone? Any questions? Let's proceed further. Now, no keywords to be used as variable names. Means keywords are reserved in the programming language and they give specific meanings to the compiler. So no keywords are used. Now, what are the keywords? Let me write else is equal to 45. Error. Else is not acceptable because this is a keyword. Because I am giving the space as employees sal is equal to 45, it is not considering it. Now, one of the students is asking me why it is not considering, because we have a special symbol that is space inside it. And this is not acceptable. Clear? Right. Now, as I've told you that keywords are reserved. In spite of this, if I write else 1 is equal to 45, else 1 is equal to 45, that is accepted. But in spite of this, if I'll use else, that is invalid because else is a keyword. Now, if is equal to 45, again the error. In spite of this, if I'll write underscore if is equal to 45, that is accepted. Right? Now, if I'll write integer is equal to 67, that is valid because all the class names are not the keywords. And all the variable names are case sensitive. Like if I write age is equal to 22. Now age is equal to 21. Now I'm writing age is equal to 45. Now let me write age is equal to 25. Right? Now if I write print age, comma, age, comma, age, just a second, comma, age, we get the output. So now, as I've told you, it is always recommended to take the user-friendly variable name. Now, if I want to write the big sentence, like I'm writing total salary of an employee is equal to 45.5. This is acceptable because this is acceptable, but this is not understandable. Is this understandable by everyone? No. It is difficult to understand. So it is always recommended to use the user-friendly variable. So I'll write total salary underscore is acceptable. We cannot use space of employee is equal to 45.5. See, this is acceptable also and understandable also. Clear? Good. Good. Let's proceed further now. After this, we are going to talk about the data types. So we are done with the identifiers and literals. We are done with the features also. Now we are starting with the data types in Python. Now, when we use the data type, purpose of data types is to allocate the sufficient amount of memory space for storing the values or literals in the main memory. Now, which is the main memory of computer? We know main memory of computer is RAM. RAM, right? So whatever we store, it will be stored in the main memory of computer. In the Python program, we have 14 data types. 14 data types. Now, 14 data types means we have the fundamental data type in which we have int, float, bool, and complex. Then we have the sequence data type in which we have str, bytes, byte array, and range. Third, we have the list data type in which we have list and tuple. Fourth, we have set category data type in which we have set and frozen set. Fifth, we have dict data type in which we have dict. And sixth is the none type data type in which we have none type, whose value is none. So in total, we have 14 data types. So first one is fundamental data type. Now, when we are talking about the fundamental data type, now the first data type is int data type. Let's understand int data types. Shall we proceed? Now, when we talk about the int data type, we have 4 types of data type: int, float, bool, and complex. Int, float, bool, and complex. These 4 types of data types are there in the fundamental category data type. Now, int. Int is the predefined class and treated as a fundamental data type. And purpose of int is to store the integer data or integral data or the whole numbers. Means numbers without decimal places. Let's go ahead and let me write a is equal to 245, sorry. Now, print a, type of a, sorry. This is int type. Now, if I write a, b is equal to minus 450. Now, print b, type of b, minus 452. Now, c is equal to a plus b. Now, print c, type of c. What type of value it is? This is the integer data. It can be negative also, it can be positive also, right? Let me show you one more example. A is equal to 12, b is equal to 13, c is equal to a plus b. Now, print a, type of a. Print b, type of b. Print c, type of c. Print, just a second. Clear? In spite of this, if we'll write A is equal to minus 12, B is equal to minus 25, C is equal to A plus B. Now print A, type of A, print B, type of B, print C, type of C. Now, with the integer data type, this is known to be an integer data type. Now, if we talk about the int data type, we can also store different types of number system in this. We have 4 types of number system. One is a decimal number system. Second is a binary number system. Third, we have is octal number system. And fourth, we have hexadecimal number system. Now, decimal number system is a number system which is understandable by all. And we have the digits. In the decimal number system, we have the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So, we have the total digits 10. So, these are the base 10 literals. These are known as base 10 literals. Right? Now, next we have is a binary number system. Now, when we talk about the binary number system, it has the digits 0 and 1. Total digits are 2. Total digits are 2. So, these are the base 2 literals. Third, we have is octal number system. Now, if we talk about the octal number system, it has the digits 0 to 7. Like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So total digits are 8. Sorry, 8. So these are base 8 literals. Next, we have hexadecimal. Now, when we talk about the hexadecimal number system, just a second, let me go ahead. It has the digits. See, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After 9, we have, just a second. After 9, we have A, B, C, D, just a second. C, E, digits are 16. 16. So these are base 16 literals. These are the base 16 literals. Getting me? Now, when we talk about the int data type, whatever we'll store in the int data type, even if we store the binary number system, which is understandable by the OSS and the processes during the application execution, will also be converted automatically. Syntax for this is A is equal to, now A is a variable. I need to write 0B. 0B. Now 0B is used for proceeding with the binary format. 0B. Now, if I after that, I can write the numbers like 1111. Now, print A, type of A, 15. Getting me? 15. Now, after this, if I'll write, let me write B is equal to 0B. Now, I'm writing in the capital 1010. Now, print B, type of B. It will be automatically converted to the integer format, int format. Same with the case of octal number system. Now, these are the base 8 littles. If I'll write A is equal to, this will be preceded with 0O. Getting me? Because this is octal number. So I'm writing it with 0O, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0. After this, print, let me write print A, typo. So this is converted into the integer format. If I write A is equal to 0O, we can write it in the capital also. 0, 1, 4, 5. Now, print A, 101. This is integer term. Now let's talk about the hexadecimal. So if we want to proceed with the hexadecimal, we need to write 0x, either in the uppercase or in the lowercase. 0x12 face. Now, print A, got the output. Or I can write like this, A is equal to 0x. Let me write E, A, D. Now, print A. Now, how is this taking these? How is this considering these values? Now, A will be considered as 10. B will be considered as 11. C will be considered as 12. D will be considered as 13. E will be considered as 14. And F will be considered as 15. So, total digits from 0 till 15 are 16. Clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Now, even if we write A is equal to, now I'm writing 0B, 1111 plus 0B, 1010. Now, print A, type of 25. 25. Now, after this, let's go ahead and let me write A is equal to, now I'm writing 0B, 1012. We'll get the error. 2 in the binary literal. Even if we write in the octal number system, A is equal to 0O. Let me write 456, 9. Error. If I'll write 8, that is also not acceptable. It will consider the value till 7. Now, print A, type of A. Any questions till now? Any questions? Any of the students, if has a question, please just raise your hand. Good. Now, in spite of this, if I'll write if I'll write A is equal to, Now I'm taking the integer value. Just a second, students. Now let me write, thank you for holding. Let me write A is equal to 0. Now I'm writing 0, 895. You'll get the error. Because this is what, this is an integer value, right? And leading zeros in decimal integer literals are not permitted. Let's talk about the floating point value. Now, float data type. Now, when we talk about the float is what? Float is again a predefined data class and treated as a fundamental data type. Purpose of float data type is to store the real constant values or the floating point values. Numbers with the decimal places. Like if I write A is equal to 12.56, right? Now print A, type of A. So this is known to be a floating point value. If I write A is equal to 1.2, B is equal to 2.3, C is equal to A plus B. Now print A, type of A, print B, type of B, and print C, type of C. This is class float. Now if I write A is equal to 12.34, B is equal to minus 10.66, C is equal to A minus B. Now print A, print B, just a second. Now print C. Right? So we have got the output. Now, let's discuss. If I write like this, print A, comma B, comma C, I will get the output like this. Now, float data type does not support binary, octal, and hexadecimal number. By default, it only supports the decimal number system. Like A is equal to 0B. If I write 1111, right? Dot 0B 1011. Syntax invalid, syntax error, invalid decimal literal. Right? Is this clear, students? Any questions? Yes. Good. Rest of the systems we'll discuss tomorrow. Rest of the data types we'll discuss tomorrow. We have bool data types and complex category data types. Fine. If you have any questions, you can always talk to our support team. And after that, also in case you if you feel any problem, just go ahead and mail me. I will answer you regarding the sessions if you have any problems. Fine. Just drop me the mail. I'll get back to you. Thank you, students. We'll see you tomorrow. Any doubts if you have, you can just raise your hand right now. No doubts. Fine. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last demo session. So go ahead and join the batch as early as possible. Payment link is shared with you guys, so you can go ahead and make your payments. Join the batch. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.